Hello, I am John, and I want to welcome you to cardsmash.com. I just want to thank you very much for taking the time to go through this process. If you have any questions, you can submit them from the CardSmash website. So let's get started. Alright, here we are in the members area. So let's move forward and create your vCard listing. So click on the Create Your vCard Now link right there. This is the My Listing page, or My vCard. And right here, you'll notice that there are asterisks next to some of the field names. I want to just indicate that those are required fields. So the first thing you want to do is select a category from the drop-down menu for your vCard. The selection you choose will enter you into that section in the directory, which we saw from the home page, the various different categories that are there. It just makes it easier for people to find you. Now, if you have any suggestions or additional categories, just feel free to contact us. We'll take your suggestions under consideration. However, there is no guarantee that we will add it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and enter your business name. Just make one up here for this. Enter your contact information. Okay, you can enter in your title, and that could be something like your owner, manager, or CEO. I'm the web developer here. The next item here is a link to your business's website. One other thing about the URL, make sure that you include the HTTP onto the URL, otherwise the link will not work. The next item we have here is an area where you can fill in your business description. This thing here is like, you'll see up here at the top, there's several little buttons up here, and this works like a miniature word processor that allows you to format your information. You can do things like you can create bulleted or numbered lists, you can bold your text, add links, do heading tags. All you need to do is just highlight the text you want to format and click the appropriate button. So if I do like I put 3 items here, and if I highlight that and I want to make it a bulleted unordered list, it'll do that. Look at that. Maybe I want to make it a numbered list, I can do that as well. Or if I just want to remove that formatting, I can just click that off as well. Let's go ahead and keep it as a numbered list, and let's say I want to bold 1 and 2 and 3. We can do that. And let's make this one a link. You can add a link in there. You can set a target, which will allow it there to go to a new window, and this will be, you can give it link title. These things are really good for SEO as well. You can create keywords and link them back to your website. If your information is already in HTML, then you can open up this HTML button here, and you can just copy and paste in your HTML here. You can, if you're a wizard at little HTML, you can also kind of do some minor formatting there that's not covered in that, but leave that to people who know what they're doing. Otherwise, you could really cause some. So the next thing we want to do is just want to talk to you about Microsoft Office Word. One important thing you need to know is that pasting directly from Microsoft will result in some unpredictable things. That's because Word adds some additional proprietary tags that don't work well on the web. They interfere a lot with some of the internal workings of HTML. If your document is in Word, I highly suggest you use the W icon, and that will clean up that Word information. That's right here. So if I click that button right there, a little dialog box comes open, and I've got some text here I've already got set up. It says use Control V on your keyboard to paste the text into the window. So that's Control V on your thing, and here we go. This information all went in there, and we can go ahead and insert that. Guess we cancel it. So here we go. All this information has been added in there. Looks fairly good. It's kind of looks a little funky there. It looks like we got a little issue with our indenting there. I don't know. There we go. So you might, after you put it in, have to kind of monkey around with what you got going on here. There's a heading 3 tag if you want to change it to heading 2. You need to bold anything. We've got our numbered list here, so that's good. Everything looks pretty good. Remember, if you're going to use Word, use this paste from Word. There's also a paste from plain text one as well. Maybe after you're all kind of done, you can hit this clean up messy code, and it might clean up some of the other issues and errors that you have in there. So the next thing we can do is enter in your address. And this is not actually a required field, and the only reason we did that is because there are some businesses that only operate online. They don't have any foot traffic, so there's no reason for them. I mean, this is an optional, but we do want you to enter in your city, your state, your zip code, and also enter in a phone number here. These are required fields here. You want to include a phone number there for your clients to give you a call if they need anything. Most business cards will have that anyways. You also can enter in a mobile phone. That is an option as well. And then we can also include our email. It is a required field. If you don't fill in the required fields, you will get a little nastygram. Okay, the next section here that we're dealing with is the social networking area, where you can include your links to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Flickr, MySpace, YouTube, and you can even make a link to your blog if it's different than your main website. You could perhaps do that. When you do enter it, make sure you do include the HTTP. It needs to be a full URL. The last item is where you can upload an image of your logo, or perhaps even a scan of your paper business card. This will show up on the first page of your V-card. And when you click on the button, a dialog box will open up that will allow you to search for your logo image. Now, images that are larger than 375 wide or 200 pixels high work the best. Sometimes when you get an image that's too smaller than that, it will come out a little fuzzy. So you want to go ahead and try and get one that's a fairly decent size. Okay, let's go ahead and let's click that and hit open, and that'll put that right there. Now, before you create your V-card by clicking the Add button, go ahead and review all the information that you entered to make sure that it's correct. Fix anything that needs to be fixed at this time, but don't worry if you miss something. You can always go back and edit anything that needs to be corrected. So when you're satisfied with all your information, hit the add button to create your card. Now, I will make one little caveat here. The URL is created by your business name, and if there is a business that is already existing on the site with a name that perhaps it is like yours but maybe in a different city, or if you get a mismatch on or they match up exactly, then you may end up having to modify your business name. And maybe some of the suggestions you could do is include the city that you are in, or maybe even perhaps your main product. So if we do like so perhaps you might have to do something like that with your business name. That really is kind of in the creation part of it, because once you click this, it's going to create a URL that's search engine friendly. We're really trying to make this site so that it's very friendly for the search engines to find. That way they can find your site, they can find any links back to your main website, anything like that. Let's say you do run into an issue and you can't get that business name. Just go ahead and add some additional text. Later on, you can go into your edit area and clean that up, because once the URL is created, it's pretty much created. So this one will actually create a URL that'll say my business name, El Cajon, California. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that for right now, so we can maybe go through and look at some of the ways we can fix that up later. Don't have to do it that way. You can just keep it as your business name. I'm just making a suggestion that if you run into an issue where your name is similar to somebody else, you can fix it that way. Let's hit the add button. It's always exciting to see this add button to see what happens. So here basically you are now on the your editing page here, which allows you to go through and make changes to your vCard listing. Now let's just kind of go through here on what we have on this page. So here you're going to find the URL for your new Card Smash vCard. It's located right here, right next to this label that says My vCard URL. It's a link. If you click on that, it will take you directly to the vCard itself. Again, I'd say at this point, just go ahead and just check your information, and anything that you need to correct or fix, make sure that your logo came up pretty good. If it didn't look very good, maybe you have to do some changes there. Any changes you make here can be done on the with an update. Again, at this time you can make any changes. So to view your vCard, you need to click on this vCard link, and by the way, that URL you can indicate your email or website. That will direct people to your contact information. So you could just copy this and include it on an email or in your website, Facebook, whatever, and it becomes the link that will go back to this vCard. The URL again is automatically created from your business name when you originally set up the account. And at this point you cannot change that URL, although in the future there are plans to do this. Another thing, again, I want to say is that the system filters for duplicate names, and if someone else has your business name is the same as yours, you may get an error. We already kind of talked a little bit about that. So when we click on this, we will be directed to your newly created vCard.